Their last game, a loss against Phoenix, these were the back-to-back plays she was involved in on the offensive end. Created a lot of conversation over the past week. Clark would continue playing the rest of the second quarter and then would leave the middle of the third quarter with a back.
Oh, hell no. I know just who to call. I know just who to call for your ass.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a wild thug on the loose in Indiana. There's a thug that plays for the Phoenix Mercury, a goon named Alyssa Thomas. She goes by the name Alyssa Thomas. You need to go arrest this thug. She tried to murder a lady named Caitlin Clark on the basketball court. She tried to...
One of the most talked about games of the WNBA season was the Indiana Fever versus Phoenix Mercury battle. Fans were quickly drawn in when Caitlin Clark and Alyssa Thomas got into a physical altercation early in the competition. In a matter of minutes, spectators questioned whether referees had missed a serious foul, and social media was inundated with responses.
WNBA, if you do not review what happened to Caitlin Clark, I am going to nonstop talk about this until the end of my days. The Indiana Fever go down in their rematch against the Phoenix Mercury. I don't even care about that because much bigger things are at play. It was expected to be a big game. After the melee that ensued a couple of days ago between the two teams, multiple texts were called, ejections. It was just really high tense. You could cut it with a knife. Ergo, I expected this game to be called very tight whistle. Any player hits the floor, watch like a hawk. And in my lives, I do sometimes talk about there are two players in the league that I don't particularly care for, but I never want to say who they are because I want to be able to call their game fairly and acknowledge how good they are.
What was supposed to be a thrilling regular season matchup abruptly turned into a discussion about refereeing and player safety. Fans mostly concentrated on the contentious scene featuring Clark rather than the final score or notable performances. Many thought the officials ought to have given the play a closer look.
Alyssa Thomas driving her fist into Caitlin Clark's neck. The ball is out of the play at this point in time. All right. So I don't care who it is. At the minimum, it's a flagrant 2. I think it warrants a suspension, especially because of, when you do factor in the context and the history. Because let's be real about it.
Basketball aficionados examined every moment of the incident as replay angles started to circulate online. More debate was sparked by slow-motion video, with supporters claiming that the contact should have received a harsher punishment. Others thought it was just a physical aspect of playing professional basketball.
Clark gets kneed in the groin, punched in the throat. Alyssa Thomas puts all of her body weight on her to stand up after falling to the ground, punching her and kneeing her in the groin. No foul gets called. They play on. Caitlin Clark shoots a 3. A player on the Phoenix Mercury gets into her landing space. Caitlin Clark comes down on her foot. No flagrant called. Caitlin Clark comes up, holding her back.
The debate spread fast over social media platforms, sports channels, and basketball forums. Different perspectives on what transpired were expressed by analysts, former athletes, and content makers. The argument soon rose to prominence as one of the week's most important WNBA stories.
Such a dirty play in this game. Alyssa Thomas needs to be checked. And I am absolutely not the only person that feels this way. I went on social media after the game, and it is like hellfire calling for the WNBA to review this play. Caitlin Clark goes down. Alyssa Thomas goes down, knees her in the groin on the way down, a known area of injury for Caitlin Clark. Okay, maybe that wasn't completely intentional. Didn't look great to me personally. But here's where it gets really wild. Alyssa Thomas has a fist on Caitlin Clark's arm. She has 2 fists. She slides it down, pins Caitlin down by the throat, finally gets up, and she steps over her. That step over told the entire thing. It was dirty. It was intentional. Absolutely should not go undiscussed. WNBA needs to review.
This was more than just one play, according to many admirers. They asserted that it was indicative of a broader issue with consistency in officiating anytime Caitlin Clark is involved. However, detractors countered that every elite athlete encounters physical defense at some point in their career.
Oh, yes, this is it. Oh, yes, this is it right here. I got you a light. Get 200 likes up. This is the footage. This is the video. This video has not been released at all. This is what happened right before Caitlin Clark went out of the game.
Pick up the tech tonight, 5th of the season.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I got a technical for clapping. So, like, if we should all just go on the calendar now and pick a game that I'm going to be suspended for if I'm going to get technicals for clapping. I asked Gerda. Gerda said that I got a technical for clapping. So, if any technical should be taken away, it should be that one. If it's truly for clapping, that's what they said they gave it to me for was for.
After the game was over, the conversation grew. Post-game interviews were dominated by questions about officiating, and fans wanted more responsibility from league officials. Each rear end seemed to bring a fresh viewpoint to the continuing conversation.
Are terrible. But the worst part of all of this, Caitlin Clark got kneed in the groin, throat punched, landing space, no call, and Stephanie White sat there on the sidelines with her arms crossed, tweaking, sniffing, twitching away. This is a coach that said, I ride with Caitlin Clark. Stephanie White, you ride with Alyssa Thomas. You ride with DeWanna Bonner. You don't ride with the CC22. You wish you did. You want people to think that you do. But
after the game, Caitlin Clark also addressed her technical infraction, stating that she sought an explanation for the punishment. Her remarks heightened public curiosity about the officiating of the game and added another level of controversy.
She just needs more consistent help. But as for the refs, I want smoke with all the WNBA refs, bro. Like, they need to be hit with a RICO. They need to be investigated. How are they allowed to control the game the way that they do? They calling fouls that aren't fouls. Not calling fouls when they should be calling fouls. Making up fouls. Like, how are they allowed to do this and just control the outcome of the game? They got to be on FanDuel, like, making money off the shit or something, because it makes no.
Every contentious incident involving Clark garners a lot of attention since she has emerged as one of the biggest stars in women's basketball. Every major event is now watched, replayed, and analyzed by millions of people, making even routine officiating decisions a national conversation.
What up? All right, where do we start? Well, I know where we start. I'm pissed off tonight. A little pissed off starting this one off because this is, what happened tonight in the Fever's loss to the Mercury was egregious. The WNBA needs to do something about it. Alyssa Thomas, the play on Caitlin Clark was dirty. This is now like a few things. The play itself in question, like, just remove anybody involved. Remove the names of those involved, whether it was Caitlin Clark or anybody else, that's a dirty play. Whether it was Alyssa Thomas or anybody else, that's a dirty play.
The issue also brought up more general concerns about striking a balance between player safety and physical competition. Although basketball is a contact sport by nature, leagues must make sure that players stay safe while maintaining the competitiveness and intensity of games.
Goon Alyssa Thomas arrested alongside her partner DeWanna Bonner. Matter of fact, just arrest the entire Phoenix Mercury damn roster. Emergency, get there, and this won't be long. The police are on the way. Alyssa Thomas, your ass y'all can't outrun the police. Y'all can't run from the police. The police coming to get your ass. I done called them on you. Talk about this thuggery, a goon attack. Hoodlum activity, straight up hoodlum. I've lost my mind activity. Alyssa Thomas flat out targeted Caitlin Clark. The Phoenix Mercury targeted Caitlin Clark throughout this.
The emphasis moved beyond a single game as responses kept coming in. The WNBA was urged by many fans to examine the situation and offer more information about the officiating choices. Others thought the league should just proceed without taking any additional steps.
I don't understand it at all.
So even within that, though, how aware do you have to be of the 8 technical fouls?
I mean, I'm going to play with emotion. I'm going to play with passion. And if they're going to give me a technical foul for clapping, then so be it. That's their choice. And the league can come back and review that play. And I'd love to hear what they say of the reasoning of why I got the technical foul in that situation and why other players on their team didn't get a technical foul in that situation. If anything, split it. Okay, fine. Everybody gets a technical foul. That wasn't how they were handed out. So I'd love to know. But obviously, That's what I went to Gerda and said. I said, why'd you give me a technical foul? She said, because I was clapping and instigating. I said,
Regardless of whether supporters agreed or disagreed with the officials, one thing became evident. The event had grown significantly larger than the outcome. Basketball fans, journalists, coaches, and commentators all contributed to the discussion, which kept the topic in the news for days.
Egregious. I mean, the fist in the throat is crazy. It's crazy. It's dangerous. The landing spot, when you went to review it, and she still comes down on top of another foot, like, I don't know. Because to me, that's like a do-over on a test. How do you screw it up again? And it's just, when you have these things continue to happen time and time again, eventually it gets frustrating. But I thought those were just more.
Ultimately, the Fever Mercury game served as yet another illustration of how swiftly controversy can proliferate in contemporary sports. Millions of spectators can now instantaneously access every replay, viewpoint, and officiating decision. Moments like these will continue to spark heated debate throughout the sports world as long as Caitlin Clark is one of basketball's brightest stars.